Yep, that is absolutely correct. Whoever wins this match will move on to take on J-Pop for Life in the second chance semifinals, the second step of our stepladder format. The loser will be eliminated and will finish tied for 5th in this year's tournament.
And away we go. Aquas is going to be started a little bit late, so we'll keep an eye on the time.
Yep, so we'll definitely have to keep that in mind if this ends up being a close game number 1. So we'll get everything set up. So what you'll see on Aquas' screen is probably going to be a little bit deceptive. So we'll see how this plays out. So if this ends up being close, we will definitely have to go back to the tape to recognize what kind of times these runners have. So that's the reason why you're going to see Aquas with a crazy time coming out of the first arena. It's a low 38, but it's probably closer to a 41 because I think he was setting up for the manipulation strat. So whatever you see his time, Aqua's time, I'd say add 3 seconds. Does not get the orb. He has a spreader instead. So we'll see how this plays out as we got rockets now for Tetsuoooo. So the drop advantage at the moment favoring Tetsuoooo.
That's right. I don't think he even went for the
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I just got word that he didn't go for it. I was just trying to do some quick math here and thinking that if it was 38 and he started about 3 seconds late, that he'd probably have a 41. So I guess that didn't work out. But look at this. Aquas has a 75 going into Eat My Shrapnel. Tetsuoooo, a 123, but he does have the orb, whereas Aquas right now doesn't have one.
That's right, but he doesn't have rockets, and Aquas loves to min-max rockets. As you saw in the first, saw it in collect power-ups, he got rockets, but he held onto those rockets for the longest time. Then got a second drop, was able to carry himself through.
Definitely indeed, but right now Aqua's scrambling here. Tetsuoooo gonna have the granddaddy rockets to finish off this room, so this is gonna be a great time coming out. Despite the fact he's got no orb. It's a 201 for Aquas, so he did bleed some time. And Tetsuoooo now less than 5 seconds back, and he will take the lead provided that Aquas doesn't get an orb. And look at this, a first drop Razor Shield for Tetsuoooo. He is definitely going to be out in front. Aquas gets a Razor Shield of his own, which will keep him afloat, but the longer he goes without an orb, that time is going to be hemorrhaging. He could be double digits back coming out.
Right, and he's using that Razor Shield as a weapon, which I do like because he's got to hunt for an orb. And he's not getting the drops, and he's not getting the weapons to allow him to do that.
Yeah, not only is he not getting the orb, he's getting junk weapons. He's getting grenades, he's getting nukes. Spreader is something, but that's just not going to cut it when you don't have an orb. Rockets will help. Rockets will help, but Tetsuoooo should have the lead coming out of this room, and he's got rockets. He's going to wait for it as long as he possibly can, so he has some rockets to take with him to tank trouble, which he will. More than a half a clip. He has the lead now with the 301. Aquas did all he could with the situation he was given. He's about 5 seconds back with the 306.
I would say more like 7 or 8 seconds back.
Correct, if you factor in the 3 seconds. You're absolutely right there, Sigma. So Aquas did what he could with what the game gave him. But right now, Tetsuoooo it's looking promising that he may take game number 1 here. He's got about 2/3 of a clip of rockets in tank trouble. So both gunners should be down. And he's got more rockets waiting for him. My word.
Yep. And so does Aquas. He just recognized it.
Yeah, and these rockets might be more beneficial because without the orb, you can actually focus on your firing lanes. Now, if you can chain rockets together or grab a nuke like that, that's going to help him out. So again, this is going to keep him afloat, but I still imagine he may, but more rockets for Aquas. And Tetsuoooo really hasn't gotten anything here in tank trouble, so Aquas might still gain some time. And more nukes so he can preserve his rockets. This is absolutely the god situation for Aquas in tank trouble when you don't have an orb. His rockets finally do run out, and Tetsuoooo is still going to have the lead with a 412. A Razor Shield for Aquas, and I'll tell you what, those rockets have kept him in it. He's going to be roughly 10 seconds back when you factor in the 3 seconds, but he's put himself in position to have a shot at winning game number 1.
First drop for Tetsuoooo is grenade, so he's going to focus on the ball buster and gets it. And he's going to get the grenades too, so he can take out the gunners.
Unfortunately for Aquas, it's an empty drop. He'll just focus on, and back-to-back empty drops. Empty drop, though, for Tetsuoooo, so back-to-back-to-back. Do I hear 4 in a row? Do I hear 4 in a row? I have 4. I got a 4. I got 4. Do I hear 5? Do I have 5? I got 4 dropping on bid. Do I hear 5? Do I hear 5?
Meanwhile, lobbers for Tetsuoooo, who's just plowing them in. Rockets for Aquas, that's at least something.
Yeah, 4 consecutive empty drops to start the fight. And now a spreader for Tetsuoooo. He may be putting this one away, folks.
Mutoid's movement's a little bit janky there, so he's not able to get the full benefit. But is manualing okay? He does pop the head.
Very nicely done. If Tetsuoooo gets one more spreader, this game will be over. It's a lobber, which will, could get him to final form with accurate firing. Another empty drop for Aquas, and this spreader is going to wrap this one up.
Yeah, perfect placement. Oh, he ran over. It was over it. He went in over, but that's because of the game, because now he's swapping it for grenades, faster firing. That'll do it.
Absolutely. Just everything going Tetsuo's way here in game number 1. Can't fault Aquas in that one. He played as well as he could, but the same thing plaguing him here that it did against Brysolf is just the RNG not going his way. Played well. Tetsuoooo also played well, had an amazing Mutoid Man fight. Sub 6, your first game out of the box. You have to be feeling good if you're Tetsuoooo right now.
Oh, absolutely. Plus, another thing is that Aquas a couple of the devs that Aquas had there, he kind of felt trapped. Like there was nowhere for him to go because he was up. He was in one position. He had a shrapnel below him, a shrapnel above him closing in, and then Mutoid just way on the other side, and he was against the wall.
Yeah, he most certainly was indeed. And Aquas not going to be happy with his time. Again, in his last match against Brysolf, he had 2 runs that were over 7 minutes. And this one being about a 6:41, you add 3 seconds, it's about a 6:44. So Aquas is not going to be happy about that. I mean, he played fine. Nothing he did wrong there. It's just RNG plagued him, much like it did against Brysolf. And kind of makes you wonder if abandoning his player 2 strats have kind of turned the mojo against him.
I wonder if I do believe that's the case because Aquas was way more comfortable in player 2. And I just don't know what happened.
Yeah, it's hard to say how this is going to play out the rest of the way here, but this is definitely not the Aquas I'm accustomed to seeing here in Super Smash TV. I mean, he's usually got great arenas. He's usually got that orb. He's usually got some solid performances. And then, through the match prior to Brysolf, he was just blitzing through this field. And all of a sudden, he's just hit the wall here. And things are going to have to change for Aquas, or he may be done early in this match against Tetsuoooo. I'll see if they're ready for game 2. All right, folks, both these runners are ready to go. I have got them counted down. So game number 2, let's see if Aquas can equalize this match or if Tetsuoooo can take a 2-0 lead on the 2-time bronze medalist, Aquas.
Good luck.
And while we have them going to enter run, Tetsuoo's actually been doing a lot of Super Castlevania 4 running. He just dropped like a 36-20 last night.
Yeah, that's a very good time here. So Castlevania 4, I guess if you're going to talk about Castlevania 4, rest in peace, Furious Paul.
Yeah, I saw the notices about that as well. Aquas is going for the manip.
He is going for the manipulation. He's got to make something work out for him. We'll have to see about if he does get this. We'll get the runners in sync, but it is going to be a low 40 versus that's your standard time when you're going for the manipulations. It'll be about a low to mid 41. So we'll see if Aquas has the manipulation down pat. He got the northeast spawn. That's the one you can get sometimes when you get the manipulation, that delayed northeast spawn. So Aqua's successful in the orb manipulation, but Tetsuoooo has rockets to start the room.
Right, a little bit of a time advantage coming in, and now Aquas has rockets, so now he's going to take the lead.
You would think he will take the lead based on the fact he's got the orb and now a spreader just to finish off the job. He has the lead with a low 78. Tetsuoooo is going to be right there with a mid 72. It's a 4.5 second lead for Aquas, but now Tetsuoooo is the one that's going to be fishing for an orb.
Right, Tetsuoooo. Well, hey, asking you shall receive. There's the orb.
Yep, and Tetsuoooo wanted to wait before grabbing it because he didn't want to waste what few rockets he had left in the chamber there. So both these players have the rockets. So as long as they don't go out of control, Aqua should still have that 4.5 second lead.
Razor Shield for Tetsuoooo, not going to do too much because he's got the shrapnels left.
Yeah, Aquas grabbed that Razor Shield. I wonder if he was fishing for rockets to close the room. Not going to get it. It's a 2-minute flat time. Tetsuo's time is going to be a 2:05. So it looks like Aquas gained a half a second in that room. So he's now built it to a 5-second lead. Just had a little bit of a better closure, I think, than Tetsuoooo did. So here we go in Total Carnage. Got a spreader for Tetsuoooo. Aquas gonna ignore that grenade. And now a Razor Shield for Tetsuoooo should keep him protected the whole way through.
Yep, and that's also going to free up a little bit of movement. He can focus on his firing lanes, knowing that the shrapnels probably won't come in and take him out. They can get through. I want to make that clear. They can get through, as you saw there on Tetsuoo's side for a second.
Oh yeah, they definitely can. We've seen it happen, and it is absolutely devastating when that shrapnel goes right through the Razor Shield and picks you off. And look at this, we have a change in leadership with the 2:53 for Tetsuoooo. Aquas now about 2.25 seconds back with a 2:56. I think it's a good time for Taco Bell product placement with Taco Bell.
Sipping on some Baja Blast.
I'll tell you what, in that room, Tetsuoooo just had some great weaponry there. Aquas just didn't have the same quality, plus he had that Razor Shield. So all those things added up to better firing lanes, higher kill count, and that's why he turned a 5-second deficit into a 2.25 second lead. And now they both have Razor Shields to start. You don't see that every day.
Nope, that means you can focus more, and Aquas has rockets. That's going to help, and now Tetsuo's got rockets.
My word, you never see this. And more rockets now for Tetsuoooo. He could extend that lead on Aquas here, but both of these runners should be fine. And now more rockets for Aquas. What are these drops?
It's called the advantage. Ping-ponging back and forth. Tetsuoooo is going to have a spreader. He could finish out the room with this.
Nice.
He doesn't have any spreader to get into the next room, but he wouldn't have been able to take any anyways, because with the spreader you would have to use against
we have PB chances on both runners. Tetsuoooo with the 3:58, his PB is a 5:20. Aqua's 5 seconds back, his PB is a 5:23. There is potential here as Tetsuoooo will use the strat on the spreader, forego the ball buster, rockets for Aquas, so he can focus on the ball buster, and they both get keys. Yikes.
Yeah, not going to matter much for Tetsuoooo because he had the spreader going, so that empty drop is negligible. Oh, there it is.
No, it's blocked. It is blocked. So
Tetsuoooo recognized it.
Yeah, good recognition not to take the death, which would have cost him right there. So it's going to have to be manuals for Tetsuoooo. Not getting close enough to make those manuals. There's a few shots right there.
Take the death there. What's going to pop? It's going to be a lover. That's fine because he can get above it. Fire where that rib cage is, because there's hitboxes, multiple hitboxes on Mutoid, and where the chest is.
Oh, that's a long way to go for Aquas. He's got to realize he's not player 2. I think he could still get it. He still gets it. This could be a game changer, though. Not quite.
Much of one.
Yeah, they're both on the same 4, but it's still a Tetsuoooo lead. And now, oh, he thought about it. He thought it was going to change the final form right there, but it didn't. Final 4 for Aquas. He's got the lead, but he's going to have no weapon, but neither will Tetsuoooo.
Yeah, but Tetsuoooo already had rockets, so he was fine. Now it's a problem, though.
Yeah, but Aqua's getting the worst weapon in the spreader, and the worst weapon for Tetsuoooo as well. This is going to be so close. Who's going to win this one? Will the rockets be enough for Tetsuoooo? The grenades are not enough for Aquas. And Tetsuo's going to win this.
What a match. What a game.
Oh, how close was he? Okay, he was not that close. He definitely needed another
not even
weapon.
Close.
All right, so Tetsuoooo gonna steal this one. Back and forth they went in game number 2, but it is Tetsuoooo who is gonna take a 2-0 lead. And Aquas, once again, he played very, very well. And Tetsuoooo, he did what he needed to do. Aquas got a spreader. The problem is they were in player two locations. He could have used that to maybe guide his way to victory, but instead, Tetsuoooo up 2-0 and is in great shape. Back-to-back sub-6s for Tetsuoooo.
Yeah, Tetsuo has been playing really, really well. He has been practicing when he's not been doing Super Castlevania 4. I want to go over the who they've beat or been beaten by to get here, because this has been quite a run for both these runners.
Oh, it most certainly has been indeed. So, yeah, go ahead and talk about the path, and I'll ask if these boat runners are ready to go.
Okay. Telio beat Seawalker, who I think is a second return. Then Telio sweeps Dark Lord Gonzo, who was a finalist, who finished third place, I believe, in the third tournament. Then he was beat by Telio, while Telio was the 5th seed, Tetsuo being the 4th seed. Tetsuo then comes down to the losers bracket, beats Scotty 3-0, then beats Space Colonizer 4-2. I'm sorry, 4-0, and now he's in this match against Aquas.
All right, so I've counted these runners down here. Game number 3. I'm telling you, Sigma, this is a must-win for Aquas. He cannot afford to go down 3-0 against someone like Tetsuoooo, who has been on their game, has had Mewtwo and Man go their way, has thrown 2 sub-6s to start this match. This is a must-win for Aquas.
Absolutely. It's going to be amazing because in the complete tournament, Aquas was the number 2 seed, Tetsuoooo the number 4 seed.
Yeah, and the reason why Tetsuoooo got down into that second chance bracket so quick is he just had absolute horrendous RNG against Telio 1 in his match. But Tetsuoooo, has been playing really, really much lights out as Aquas goes for the manipulation again. So it's going to be another Tetsuoooo hole shot. This time is going to be a low 39, and there's your normal mid 41 time for Aquas going into collect power. So the key is, will he get that manipulation, that first drop orb? We'll find out very shortly. Tetsuo's first drop is grenades. Successful manipulation for Aquas. He's got his orb back-to-back games now.
Yeah, he moved out of the way, so I don't know what happened there, but the orb still came for him. He is going to have the lead because, well, now Tetsuo's got the orb.
Yep, he does have an orb, so that's exactly what Tetsuoooo needed to see to keep pace. So who's going to come out first is anybody's guess. It's going to be Aquas, though, as he gets a lot of spreaders and a 79 out the door. Tetsuoooo is going to be behind yet again going into Eat My Shrapnel, and it's going to be, can he get him down? He does. That could have been a big time penalty. It's a 9-second lead for Aquas to start Eat My Shrapnel.
Yep, that's just the power of the weapons that Aquas had in front of him. Tetsuo had grenades, and all he had was grenades until the orb came.
Oh, definitely. Now with rockets, Aquas will have no trouble getting this room under control, and he can have the rockets to finish up these Mr. Shrapnels.
And Aquas doing well. I don't like what Aquas is doing. He's wasting.
That was almost disastrous there, Sigma. That shrapnel could have easily picked off that orb. Wow, Aquas got away with one.
He's been getting away with it quite a bit because he was wasting rockets at the end.
Yeah.
Like the shrapnel was in the lower door. He was firing at the west door. And that's cost him like about 12 to 14 rockets, which would have been useful here.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder if Aquas is a little bit on tilt. But in any event, both runners having a Razor Shield. Aquas had rockets, Tetsuoo's got a spreader. So both of these runners should be pretty much under control. We'll see what the time ends up being, but Aquas, good lead here. A 2:52 into the bonus room. We'll see what Tetsuoo's got. He was about 10 seconds back entering this room, and he's gonna be bleeding some time.
Yeah, weapons were just not there for him in this room.
No, not at all. And he's going to find himself about 14 and a half seconds back into the bonus room here. Tetsuoooo just has a little bit of spreader left, which really won't equate to much trying to get a gunner off. So he's going to need to see something better as the opening drop in tank trouble. Let's see what Aquas gets here. Grenades, that is not good, so he's going to ignore it. Actually, he's going to grab it. He's going to use it against one of them. I like that play. If you can find the opening, make it work, and he made it work. Let's see if Tetsuoooo can get a rocket here to help him buoy himself back. He gets grenades too. Equal opportunity drops. In a bad spot too.
Right, but he had a small part of the spreader clip left, so he just used it against the gunner and was able to come out okay.
Dangerous grab of that razor shield there. Aquas gets some rockets. Now he really can focus on the middle of the room, picking up that razor shield. He should have a nice lead coming out of here.
He should. It's going to depend on drops in his firing lanes. And Tetsuoooo not getting anything.
No, he's not at all. He's getting the TTTT here, and Aquas with a 408. That's a very good time into the Mutoy Man fight. He needs this game, folks. He is down 2-0 in this best-of-7 match. The time continuing to tick on Tetsuoo's side, and that one Mr. Shrapnel explodes. He is now 17.5 seconds back, and there's a spreader chance for Aquas.
And he's going to get it.
Yeah, he definitely needed to see that, so he's going to have himself a nice start to this fight. Another spreader, but that might be that's too far. He won't be able to get this one.
Way too far, and he was blocked in the door, so he wasn't going to be able to get it anyways.
Get another spreader, but he'll have to go manuals here. If he gets an invulnerability, oh, this could be sick. That's an invulnerability! Yep. Can he get it?
Aquas is waiting. Slow.
No.
Gone.
Blocked. 4, 3, 2,
He's got it.
1. He'll get this spreader though. Aquas is in firm control here, barring something crazy. He is going to take game number 3 and get back into this match here. Final form, he got everything on that spreader. He needs one more good weapon to finish the job. Grenades, he probably is going to need another weapon past that.
Yeah, because he had a manual early.
Yeah. So Aquas gonna have about a 540. That is how you rebound when your opponent has 2 sub-6s against you. Do a 540 of your own, and Aquas back in this match. It's now 2-1.
How about a 539?
How about a 539? We'll take a 539. Great run there for Aquas. So sub 540 for his 3rd game. Yeah. Aquas has the best time of the tournament so far because he had, I believe, a 5:23. He tied his PB in his opening match, and I do believe that mark has stood so far in this tournament. Yeah, Tetsuoooo, this time the RNG goes against him, so there you go. It ebbs and flows both ways.
Yeah, and I think we know Aquas. The orb. I want to try to explain something. The discovery of the orb. The Orbanip was discovered in the middle of the tournament. And so I don't know if Aquas started the tournament player 2.
He did.
And then moved to player 1. I think the Orbanip can only happen if it's player 1, as far as we know.
Yes, you're correct. We were actually discussing that when Aquas was doing his practice earlier today. The orb manipulation strat that you've been seeing runners pull off throughout the latter stages of this tournament can only be done via player 1. We have not found a manipulation yet for player 2.
Right, so that kind of explains why Aquas has had a rough go of it for the past couple of weeks, because that's when he actually did start to do the orb manip. He didn't start until his match with Brysolf, and his match with Brysolf was about 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. You're absolutely right. And unfortunately for Aquas, pulling some of his worst times of the tournament in that match. Now, I mean, his arena gameplay was fine. I mean, he did drop an orb in 1 of those 5 games against Brysolf, but Mutoy Man just absolutely treated him poorly throughout that entire match, with the exception of game number 1. Both runners are ready to go. I'm going to count them down.
Well, you have to figure, I mean, if you're switching sides like that, imagine if you're a baseball player and you've thrown right-handed all your life, now all of a sudden you have to throw left-handed. There's going to clearly be a setback. Same thing with your basketball shooting hand. Same thing with holding a hockey stick. So, I mean, this is a major adjustment being made on the fly in the tournament. And, I mean, credit to Aquas for making the adjustment and getting this far thus far.
Oh, definitely indeed, Burgundy. And as both of these runners are ready to go here with game number 4, we'll see if Tetsuoooo can go to triple match point or if Aquas can equalize and essentially make this a best of 3. Here we go. So Aquas again, gonna go for the manipulation here. Tetsuoooo gonna do his normal stretch, so no manipulation for him, but he's had some really good Arena 1s. The problem is they haven't translated into good collect power-ups or eat my shrapnel. He's been trailing for many of these games going into these rooms. So we'll see how it plays out in game number 4, as it is going to be a Tetsuoooo hole shot again, as you would expect, but not a big one. A high 41 versus a mid 41. So it's only about, I'd say, half a second to maybe 2/3 of a second lead this time for Tetsuoooo. So we'll see if Aquas has the manipulation down pat. He's got the northeast spawn again. That's the second time he's had that one, but he is 3 for 3 in his last 3.
Yep, and that's really been helping him out in this race. However, Tetsuoooo does get an orb that will help him out. He's now looking for... Now, rockets will definitely help his cause.
Yeah, this may give him the lead coming out of this room. Spreader now for Aquas. And it's going to be close, but still an Aquas lead, but not by much. We're talking a second lead for Aquas. 122 plays a 123. So I would imagine as long as there's no calamities here, it's still going to be that same 1 second lead for Aquas.
Looks like... Oh, there's the calamity we were talking about, Nuke on the feet. So that lead is now gone.
Oh, you hate to see it. And yeah, it's practically now an even Steven game. It could come down to who gets the last Mr. Shrapnel out first. So they're going to want to see a rocket to expedite this just a little bit. But yeah, it's about a 3/4 of a second time penalty if you hit a nuke, and it's not the end of the room. So yeah, that is not what you want to see if you're on Team Aquas. So we'll see how this plays out. And Tetsuoo's taking the lead because Aquas wasn't aware that the room had ended. So by a fraction of a second, Tetsuoooo takes the lead. And he's got rockets to start. Spreader for Aquas.
And Razor Shield, we got the Holy Trinity.
He does have the Holy Trinity right there. Very nice. And more rockets now for Tetsuoooo. He's going to continue to be on cruise control and pour out that. And back-to-back Vitamin R for Tetsuoooo. He's having the dream. Total Carnage room right now. He's going to have a big lead.
He's going to have a big lead, and his firing lanes have been clean. The play has been good. He's almost done with this room. He could get out of here like around 252, 253.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a 2-5x for sure for Tetsuoooo. There's the end of the room. So yeah, he definitely has the lead. But Aqua's holding his own, 255 and a 257. So despite the fact he had all those rockets, only gained about a second and a half, maybe a second and 3/4 on Aquas. Aquas is still very much alive, and more importantly, he's got 2/3 of a clip of Spreader to take with him to tank trouble. Anybody's game right now.
Right, and that's more than enough to take out one gunner and the shrapnel's on one side. You're not going to be able to take out both the gunners.
No, not a chance. So obviously Aquas will want to see some rockets. Likewise for Tetsuoooo. Let's see if they get. It's a dude versus an invulnerability. So Aquas does get the first gunner down, gets the invulnerability, which again he can ignore the bullets. Gets the second gunner down. Rockets though for Tetsuoooo. Oh, and Aqua's getting pinned to a corner here, having a little bit of trouble here, but does recover. Until that purple should decide, oh, I'm just going to evade every single one of your bullets.
Right. Aquas now has rockets. He did some great dancing there in order to keep that orb healthy.
Yeah, he did some very good dancing there. Got those rockets on the feet. Now a Razor Shield should finish the room up for Tetsuoooo. Absolutely. He probably didn't even need to grab that, but no matter. He's going to have the lead and build on it. It's a 4:05 for Tetsuoooo. Aquas definitely in the running. Gets the last Mr. Shrapnel down. 4:12, 7 seconds. That's basically one empty drop. Can Aquas come from behind, or will Tetsuoooo take a 3-1 lead? Starting things off with lobbers. That's a good opener. Spreader on the feet. Oh, no. Bad luck there for Tetsuoooo. Does get the ball buster, though.
And he's going to have some decent manuals until he gets run over. Depends on what the drop is here.
Well, it's a key for Aquas, so he can ignore
Spreader for Tetsuoooo!
Wow, unbelievable drop there. Aquas, I believe, gets his ball buster, yes, but yeah, Tetsuoooo definitely has the lead. It's a full form lead right now for Tetsuoooo. Lobbers, though, for Aquas, lobbers for both runners. They can ignore their respective weapons and look for something better in the next drop. They're out of weapons now. More lobbers advantage Aqua, so he can maybe cut into this lead a little bit. And he has gotten to the same four, but here's lobbers now for Tetsuoooo.
Half form lead. However, I like Aquas's firing a bit more. He has been hitting the center. He has been hitting that rib cage, so he's doing more damage.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's, you can see he's pretty much caught up. We're pretty much neck and neck here. And Tetsuoooo, it's an empty drop.
That is bad news for Tetsuoooo. He needs something. Lobbers will help.
Final form now for Aquas. He has grenades. He'll need at least one more drop. But here's a spinner.
Here we go.
Oh.
And slowly Mutoid comes. Aquas
and this is a full transfer. Tetsuoo's going to steal this one, and no one will ever know.
Wow.
That is just unfortunate. Aquas was in prime position to win game number 4, but an immaculate spreader for Tetsuoooo in a prime location. Slowly went toward that spreader, did Mutoid Man, but didn't block it. And for the third game out of 4, Tetsuoooo has a sub-6, and Aquas just going to be devastated to find out he had that game, and Tetsuoooo and Mutoid Man stole it at the very last second, and Aquas in big danger of being eliminated in 5th place. Tetsuoooo wins 3-1 in his favor.
Aquas is not happy about what happened there at Mutoid Man. He is not happy about it. Well, for those who have just followed the channel and subscribed to us, we thank you very much for supporting GG Speedruns. Not only is it the home of the Super Smash TV tournament, it's also home to a lot of great tournaments coming up as well. For more information on those tournaments, follow GG Speedruns here on Twitch and on the socials.
Oh, definitely indeed. So I'll see if both of these runners are ready for game number 5. It is now a must-win for Aquas. He's going to have to reel off 3 straight if he wants to keep his hopes of winning a championship alive, but it is Tetsuoooo on triple match point.
Let's see if and I'm looking at Aquas has his camera on, and he is just not thrilled right now. He looks a bit despondent after that 4th race, where he had a good run going, and then Tetsuoooo just took it away from him. Both the runners have the Razor Shield manip ready, and now they're being counted down by cards, and we're going to be underway for game 5. Aquas has got to win 3 in a row. Tetsuoooo just needs to win 1 in order to move up the ladder to face off against J-Pop, who is in the 3rd position of our ladder.
Yep, absolutely here. So here we go. Game number 5. A must-win for Aquas. Tetsuoooo wins this one. He'll be moving on, as you mentioned, to take on J-Pop for life. Here we go.
Tetsuoooo doing the classic way of clearing the room, staying in the center, maybe moving in a circle. And he's got a really good job. He's done it fast. He's going to be at like 39. Aquas will be the mid 41, as we know, but he did the more orb manipulation like he has in the previous matches. Let's see if it actually does hit, though, because sometimes it can fail.
Yep, it's a 2 3/4 lead for Tetsuoooo as he had a high 39. And again, the 3rd time he's had that northeastern spawn on the orb manipulation. So he's got it, but just not the optimal spawn there. But no matter, it is an orb. And right now, no orb for Tetsuoooo. He has an invulnerability. If he gets a foot, he can make it work for him. But instead, it's back-to-back invulnerability. So right now, Aquas should have a lead coming out of this room.
Right, and Tetsuoooo has not been getting any weapons. There's the foot that we were talking about.
Yeah, order of operations game. It is going to be an Aquas with a 121. A spreader for Tetsuoooo will at least help him finish the room. Nice clear at the end there, but that explosion means it's a 6-second lead now for Aquas. So here we go in Eat My Shrapnel. 18 Mr. Shrapnels to take out. No more than 4 can be on the screen at any given point. You want 42.5 seconds as your time coming out.
An interesting play gone by Tetsuoooo because he didn't have any good weapons. He did have a foot and an invulnerability. He just ran into the shrapnels. which I do like that play though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, does have rockets, which will help him finish off the room. Aqua's not done with the room just yet. There's an orb for Tetsuoooo. He desperately needed to see that. It's a 204 for Aquas. That's not the end of the room yet for Tetsuoooo, but he is going to gain a little bit of time just because he had the rocket closer. It's now a 5.5-second lead. Ooh, good razor shield for Aquas. He can focus on the middle and should be safe for the entire time here in Total Carnage. Tetsuoooo gets a spreader up top. Rockets there for Aquas. That's going to definitely bolster his kill count.
That will, but he has an opening that a swarmer can go through it if he's not careful. Tetsuo is getting spreaders. That's going to keep everything at bay. More spreaders, it's fine, but he needs the rockets, which there are, but they're really coming out hot and heavy on that top door.
Yeah, not the best spawn from him, but they'll definitely help him out. You're absolutely right. Aquas will finish and will have the lead coming out of this room with a 259, but Tetsuo has caught up. It's just a 1-second game now.
Yeah, he had some good rocket drops come out, and his firing lanes were a lot cleaner than Aquas's in that run.
Absolutely. Tetsuo has played very well. He's been lucky, don't get me wrong, but he's also been playing extremely well. So there's definitely reason why he is in your top 5 in this tournament. His arena gameplays have been good. His Mutoid Mans, he's had the luck favor him. He's had 3 sub-6s so far. He's going to be looking for a 4th. Let's see what happens in Tank Trouble.
And not getting much drops of anything, so he's just going to clear out whatever he can. Drops the orb, and he had to, though. It was either drop the orb or lose your life. Well, he's going to lose his life now anyways.
Yep, Tetsuo's first real blunder here in this match. But yeah, you're right. There was just nothing he could do about it. And that's going to give Aquas a chance to build on this lead and maybe then some. Gets a razor shield on the feet. This should definitely help propel him through the rest of this room.
Same with those rockets. There's a razor shield for Tetsuo. That's going to help. But he's going to use... Now he's got to get rid of it. He's got to get rid of it. There it is.
Good heads-up play. Was able to get rid of the rest of that razor shield so he can get his orb back. Damage is done as it's a 415 for Aquas, but Tetsuo should definitely still be in the running here. Again, he's on triple match point, but Aquas needs this one. He's got right now a 11-second advantage on Tetsuo. That is not a typically big lead. There's a spreader, and he's going to go for it.
I don't think he's going to get it.
Oh, yes, he is. He doesn't get blocked. Yeah, if he would have gotten blocked, you're absolutely right. He would not have gotten it, but it's an invulnerability. Can he get it? Yes.
He's got it. He's going to catch up. Tetsuo does miss the ball buster, though.
Yeah, and that is going to further give Tetsuo a deficit now as the second arm pops off for Aquas here. And now the rib cage exposed. It's a 2.5 form, a little over 2 form lead now for Aquas here, who needs this game to stay alive in this tournament. Lobbers, that's a fine drop, consistent damage, but here's a spreader.
I don't think it's going to be a PB, but he could get a sub 530 off this.
Oh, absolutely. And now with the invulnerability, I don't know if he'll get transfer out of it, but it is final form nonetheless for Aquas. He needs
no transfer damage.
Yeah, because he grabbed the invulnerability when he didn't go for the transfer damage. This spreader should do the job for Aquas. Ribcage exposed for Tetsuo, but it's going to have to be empty drops upon empty drops for Tetsuo to have any shot here. This should do it, this slobber, and it does for Aquas. It'll be about a 549.
That's a great comeback from what was seen as sort of a devastating loss in Game 4.
Almost definitely indeed here. So Aquas staying alive, taking game number 5. It is still Tetsuo on double match point, but Aquas stays alive with a very impressive showing in game number 5.
And it has been a battle of attrition for Aquas, and he's actually finally starting to see it pay off. our runners are getting ready for Game 6. If Tetsuo gets this, he will go on in our step ladder. Will face off against the number 3 position J-Pop, who is our Rookie of the Year. There's no doubt about that one. He has had a great run so far. He lost to Brysolf in his bracket final, and then has just plowed through his competition. He's either been swept or has swept, with the exception of the CHX match, which went the complete distance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just absolutely sensational gameplay here. And now I've got both of these runners ready to go here. Tetsuoooo taking on Aquas. Tetsuoooo wins this, he moves on against J-Pop for life. If Aquas wins this, we go to a 7th and decisive game in this thrilling match. Here we go, Game 6.
Once again, Aqua's going for the manip. Tetsuoooo deciding against the manip. But of all the time I've seen Tetsuoooo play, I don't think he's ever practiced it.
No, I've not seen Tetsuoooo practice this strategy either, so you just got to go with what works for you. And once again, it will be a Tetsuoooo hole shot, but again, not going to be a big one, as he's going to have a high 47, or a high 40, I beg your pardon, mid 41, so roughly 3/4 of a second lead. That's probably why I was getting 7 on my mind. I wanted to say 3/4 faster than I meant to say it. So here we go. Aquas, let's see if he gets it. It's again going to be that northeastern spawn. Now, we talked about why that northeastern spawn happens. There is a 13-frame window of getting it, according to Space Colonizer. 13-frame window, first 5 frames get that late upper orb, last 8 frames get that early central orb. So that's telling you that Aquas is grabbing that nuke a little bit too quickly.
But Tetsuo is going to be out. He's actually going to build on his lead.
Absolutely. I mean, just got good quality of weapons. So despite the fact that Aquas got an orb, just the quality of weapons, if you can get good weapons even without an orb, that could propel you to get through the room in under 80 seconds. Heck, we had a 75-second entry into this room without an orb earlier today. So anything is possible, as Tetsuoooo does get an orb. So he's going to keep that lead intact, Sigma.
Yep, and he has just been firing off good shots. However, okay, I was going to say that he was going to start to lose time. However, he did kill off that shrapnel before the 4-point came in.
Yeah, just in time there for Tetsuoooo. And Rockets, this is going to good close here. It's a 2-minute flat. Tetsuoooo, or Aquas 2:03. It's about 3.5 seconds, almost 4-second lead now for Tetsuoooo, starting Total Carnage. Rockets that Aquas had to carry over, but it's a dude, he'll ignore that drop. Grenades, Tetsuoooo will ignore that drop, of course. Now a foot, which will increase his speed. He might as well grab it. Invulnerability for Aquas, he's going to want something better. Rockets is definitely something better for Tetsuoooo. That Vitamin R is a-flowing.
Yep, and he doesn't mind taking the key there. He was right there. It wasn't going to affect any of his firing. So might as well pick it up. And more rockets on the feet, which is going to help out. Aquas does have a razor shield. That will help him out.
Yeah, both of them getting solid drops, but I think these rockets are going to give Tetsuoooo an even bigger lead right now. I mean, Aqua's doing all he can. There's a nuke. If he can time it right, might be able to end the room. Did he do it right? Yes, he did. He's got the lead.
Got the lead by about a half second.
Wow, great timing on the nuke there for Aquas, and erases that deficit. It is anybody's game. Again, Aquas must win this game to stay alive and force a 7th game. Tetsuoooo wins this. He's moving on to the second chance semifinals, the second ladder step of that step ladder format. So let's see what happens in Tank Trouble. Here we go.
About a half second lead. Rockets for Aquas, but in a bad position. Thankfully, he's able to find a clear lane for him to be able to do it. Tetsuoooo not getting much of anything.
No, he's getting the TTTT here, and Aqua's getting some real nice drops here. Had a spreader, he's got a nuke. I think he'll ignore it. He is going to grab it. It's always a difficult, dangerous grab when it's right there on top of the mine, and he gets more rockets. Watch out for the Mr. Shrapnel. Very good. A spreader for Tetsuoooo, but yeah, I think Aquas is going to build on that little lead here. Should be out the door real soon. And he just has to take care of the last 2 Mr. Shrapnels. Down they go. This is going to be a great time. It's 4 minutes flat.
4 minutes flat is good. However, Tetsuoooo is going to have a nice consolation prize.
Yeah, he's got rockets. He is now trailing by about 7.5 seconds with the 4:08. About one empty drop. So again, Aquas with the lead, starting the Mutoy Man fight. Can Tetsuoooo erase it? Spreader though for Aquas. But will it be blocked? It's blocked! It's blocked! 4,
Wow.
3, 2, 1. Same level 6.
And both of them will have lobbers. Tetsuoooo did get the ball buster though. That should be noted.
Yeah, he's got the lead now because of that ball buster. Aquas is not that far behind though, but yeah, that lost opportunity with the spreader there is giving Tetsuoooo the lead here. Very close though. There's a lobber now for Aquas. He'll have to go around to Mutoy
Tetsuoooo
Man.
does not have a weapon though.
He should get this lobber though. And both of them have 2 arms popped off. It's still a Tetsuoooo lead. Spreader, that's a player 2 spreader if I've ever saw one. So he'll have to go manuals here. More lobbers for Aquas. That's good consistent damage. And he gets zapped. He won't get that lobber, and Aquas is going to take the lead back.
Really good back and forth match. Tetsuoooo is going to have grenades. He's going to
Just
pop
in
his
time.
chest.
Just in time for that lobber for Aquas right there. Rockets, and now a spreader, but he may be blocked again. He may be blocked again. Will he get it? Yes.
Barely. He got it. He's going to pop the chest.
Tetsuoooo. He's going to have to go a long ways, but he's also blocked. 4, 3, 2, 1. Same level 6, and that might be your dagger.
Time's up!
Time is indeed up for Tetsuoooo as Aquas wins game number 6. And ladies and gentlemen, we go to a 7. And get this, folks, the winning time, I do believe, in all 6 games has been sub 6.
I think there was one that was about 601, 602.
You might be right about that one, but 5 out of 6, the winner has had a sub 6 as the winning time. That is just absolutely crazy stuff here. So, Aquas, don't count him out just yet. It looked like he might have been dead in the water, but 3-1 down has forced a 7th and final game at what has been a thrilling match up to this point. Wow.
And that is fair play to Aquas because he did look dejected after game 4 because he thought he had game 4, but Tetsuoooo took it away from him. But he seems like he's gotten his mojo back. He has gotten more comfortable throughout this game, throughout this match with the orb manip because remember, he didn't get it in game 1. He missed it in game 1.
I must say, you're talking about Aquas being dejected there, after losing that game to go down 3-1. This almost reminds me of the match I called last week against J-Pop for Life and CHX. Game number 2, when it looked like J-Pop was going to win game number 2 and knot that up at 1 game apiece. And instead, spreaders, just everything went in the wrong order. Looked like he was going to win it, ended up losing that game. He could have just folded right there. He could have folded like a cheap tent, but he didn't. He came back strong, kept it going, put the pressure on CHX and ended up winning that in 7 games. And Aquas trying to do the same thing here against Tetsuoooo here today to advance against J-Pop for Life. This is anybody's game. I'm going to see if they're both ready to go. This is going to be a thriller. Hold on to your hats, folks.
Here it is. It is game 7. And this is a nice little stat. If Aquas wins, he goes up against J-Pop, and the first time in the tournament, both runners would be using the orb manip because J-Pop uses it and Aquas is using it. Those are the only 2 so far in the tournament that are using it right now because Tetsuoo's old school like the rest of us. Does not do the orb manip. Telio did not use the orb manip, and Brysol definitely doesn't use it.
All right, here we go. For all the marbles here, game number 7. Tetsuoooo and Aquas. The winner has a date with J-Pop for Life in the second chance semifinals, the second step of that step ladder. Here we go. So again, you would imagine that Tetsuo is going to have the whole shot as he's had throughout this match with Aquas doing the manipulation. He has nailed the manipulation in his last 5 games, and sure enough, it is another, and this is a significant one as well. This is a good opener for Tetsuo. He's got himself a low 39, so that's a 2.5 second advantage for Tetsuo. Let's see if Aquas nails the manipulation. He pretty much needs to at this point, considering it's 2.5 seconds. Let's see what Tetsuo's open and drop is.
No, he did not get it.
He didn't get it, but he does get rockets. It's a razor shield for Tetsuo, but there's an orb for Tetsuo.
And that's just amazing right there. Aquas has been playing it so well, but he does have the orb.
The game bails him out. Ooh, that could have been real ugly for Aquas. Tetsuo, he's got the goods right now. He should still have this lead. He will still have the lead with a 79. Aquas will be a little bit up back. 122, it's a 3-second race. They both have an orb. This is what you'll want to see. Close, both having an orb. Let's make sure that they keep it. Oh, Aqua's a little bit of a pinch here, but he gets by. All right.
Yeah, that swirl got away from him in such a way that it could have come back and caused some damage.
It could have indeed. And the reason why Aquas didn't get that orb, as it's been pointed out in chat, he grabbed the nuke too soon. Maybe game 7 jitters there on Aqua's side, but luckily it's not going to cost him here as they both have rockets to close the room. It's a 2:02 for Tetsuo, and Aquas has gained some time. It's a 2-second race, so Aquas with a faster close than Tetsuo there, even though they both had rockets.
Yeah, it just goes to show you how Aquas has been at this game since, I want to say, either the 3rd or 4th tournament, and it just goes to show you, the practice that a lot of these runners put in. I mean, Brysolf starting the tournament way back when, however, he didn't start playing in the tournament until the 5th tournament. He would always put it on, and sometimes host it on his channel, but he would not take part in it until the 5th because he felt like he wanted the rest of the field to rise.
Definitely, and he's definitely enabled that to happen here. And Tetsuo is going to keep his lead with a 2:55. Nice nuke to close for Aquas. It's a high 2:57, so he gained just a fraction of a second on Tetsuo there. Anybody's game at this point. One more time. No weapon to take with him into tank trouble. This drop here is going to be absolutely pivotal for these runners on who might have the best chance of going into Mutoid Man first.
It's all going to depend on the luck of the drops here on Tank Trouble and the Mutoid play. Rockets for Tetsuo, but it was in a really weird location, and it did cost him his orb.
But he gets a replacement. Wow. What a blessing there from the game, as Aquas had a spreader, and then I think he had a nuke to clear out the remainder of that room. So both gunners down. So now it's going to come down to who has the better firing lanes, who might have the better drops here, because since then, the drops have dried on both sides.
Right, but Aquas has been more consistent in his firing lanes, though Tetsuo had to move around a lot after losing that orb.
Oh, definitely. And I think if this keeps up, oh boy, Aquas had no choice but to grab those grenades. Otherwise, he was going to get shot. We got some rockets, though, and Tetsuo going to ignore those rockets. They were just in a bad spot. And Aquas loses his orb, gets another orb, and loses it immediately. And Tetsuo has the lead with a 410. He's built on that lead just a little bit. It's going to be a 415, I believe, 415 for Aquas. Now, he has a spreader, so he could focus on the start. Tetsuo has a chance at the ball buster. It's anybody's game. I can't wait to see how this closes. There you go. You see Aquas doing the strat at the start. Stops, grabs the lobber. That's good heads-up play right there from Aquas. I like exactly how he played that.
It is, and...
But he got shot, unfortunately, so he's not going to get that lobber. Tetsuo's got grenades. Grenades now for Aquas. He'll try to focus on the gunners, which he gets both of them off. Very close right now at the moment. They both have grenades. This weapon quality stinks for both. Rockets now for Aquas. Rockets now for Tetsuo. What's going on? The weapon quality is the same. But here's a spreader for Tetsuo.
Yeah, he needed that. He was behind, but there's also a spreader for Aquas.
This one could get blocked. It will not get blocked. They'll both have it.
But empty drop for Aquas. Meanwhile, Tetsuo has lobbers, and he's got the firing lanes continuing.
Yeah, he's trying. Aquas is trying to get manuals in there, and he has the head popped off. He's got the lead. Tetsuo with the better weapon, though, with the lobbers, though. He's got his head popped off. It could come down to one spreader here. It could come down to final form, too. Rockets have been grabbed by Tetsuo. Aquas has the lobbers. He's got the final form first. Tetsuo dies, and it's an empty drop.
Right. Aquas has grenades. He's doing the
That's
damage.
an empty drop. I don't think this is going to be enough. He needs one more weapon. He needs another weapon. Where is it? Final form for Tetsuo. It's grenades. It's enough for Aquas. And Aquas, from 3-1 down, has come all the way back and has won the match against Tetsuo 4-3 and is moving on to take on J-Pop for life in the second rung of the stepladder. What a match.
I'm trying to go back as to where it got away from Tetsuo, and I don't think the death, even if he avoided the death, it wouldn't have mattered. Aquas had the manuals because near the middle, when the chest opened up, he escaped. He had half a spreader left. He continued to manual with that half spreader, and it just paid off in the end. Was able to crawl back from 12 seconds down and make up 30 seconds
Unbelievable.
to win the game.